from the moods and climates of this nation. OSBC brings you the news. News across the country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. Governor of Osun launches revised State Development Plan 2023-2050. National Assembly commences amendment of Extradition Act 2004. Report of the week examines the myth of predatory incursion of invisible forces during the Ember months. Federal government announces reintroduction of history into school curricula. In a bid to guarantee a sustainable development of the state and continue to ensure a better life for residents, Governor Adeboye Oyetola has launched the revised Osun State Development Plan 2023-2050. The State Development Plan is a strategic document comprising the state's long-term aspirations as well as blueprint of the state with deliberate focus on improving delivery of goals and objectives. Speaking shortly after launching the document at the ESCO lounge of the Governor's office, Mr. Oyetola expressed hope and belief that if the contents of the development plan is properly implemented, the state will be better for it. He explained that the revised SDP 2023-2050 is a successor plan and an improvement of the contents of the previous SDPs, while expressing joy concerning the richness in terms of stakeholders' participation and citizen engagement of the revised plan, expressing delight that no one is left behind. Governor Oyetola added that the revised State Development Plan 2023-2050 is not about any political party, but stressing that the changing realities of the society, which he said will definitely have an impact on the future of the state, necessitated the plan. Earlier, in his welcome address, Commissioner for Economic Planning, Budget and Development, Professor Olalekan Yunusa, explained that the revised State Development Plan 2023-2050 has deliberately taken care of some sectors which were hitherto not considered in the previous SDP. Governor Adeboye Oyetola has charged the leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers (NURTW) and the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria to key into the change and peace mantras known with the state. Governor Oyetola gave this charge during the commissioning of 41 buses for commercial drivers in the state and 6 waste disposal trucks. Omotayo Adebodu has the details.
The presentation of the 41 commercial buses in a partnership agreement between the state government and the Nigeria Union of Transport Workers and Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria on a 2-year repayments plan. According to the Osun State government, the gesture is in fulfillment of the administration's promises to assist the transportation business in the state. Speaking at the commissioning, Governor Adeboye Oyetola said the vehicles will benefit public transportations in the state and the waste disposal vehicles will also assist in keeping the state clean. Governor Oyetola, spoke through the secretary to the state government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, advised the beneficiaries to take advantage of the government's kind gesture to enhance the economy.
Today is another important milestone in the history of our administration. And as a result of this, we had to launch 41 buses for the road transport workers to ensure effective transportation system for the generality of our people. Mr. Governor believes strongly in the good health of his people. It is as a result of this that the vehicles that we inherited over 12 years old we had no choice but to provide 6 new ones for the benefit of the people and for the healthy living of the generality of the people of this state.
Speaking with OSBC News, the Special Assistant to the Governor on Environment and Sanitation, Mr. Rufus Oyebile, lauded Governor Oyetola for his immense contribution to the cleanliness of the state and assured that the truck would be utilized.
Argon bought 3 to support cleanliness in the state. Then the state government bought 3, making 6 in all. With this and the old ones we have had, we know the issue of refuse collection will be a perfection.
The General Manager of Osun State Waste Management Agency, Mr. Fatai Oladoshu, commended Governor Oyetola and assured of the truck's maintenance.
We appreciate the state government, especially our Baba, the executive governor of the state, for providing this needed material for us. We have been on it since, and we promise that we are going to make judicious use of it.
In their separate interviews, the Treasurer of Nigeria Union of Road Transport Workers (NURTW), Comrade Showo Gabriel, and Secretary of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria (RTEAN), Oba Oyeyemi Babatunde, said they will use the vehicles to generate more economic values for the people of the state. The event climaxed with the official handing over of the keys to the officials of the National Union of Road Transport Workers and other drivers. Omotayo Adebodun, OSBC News.
Governor Adeboye Oyetola has appointed permanent secretaries to fill the existing vacancies in the state civil service and approved the recommendation of the Governing Council of Osun State College of Health Technology, Ilesha, by appointing Dr. Lateef Rahim as the provost of the college. This is contained in a release by the head of service, Dr. Olobwega Oyebade. The permanent secretaries include Mrs. Bukola Aderibigbe, Mr. Oyeshiku Adelu, Mrs. Ajibola Falode, Mr. Femi Ogundun, Mr. Fatai Adekilekun, and Mr. Lekun Babalola. Others are Mrs. Shola Akinshola, Mrs. Yetunde Eson, and Mr. Rafi Popola, among others. Meanwhile, the swearing-in ceremony for the newly appointed permanent secretaries is underway at the Local Government Service Commission Hall. Osun State House of Assembly has expressed displeasure over the poor job being done at the Ilesha Water Project by the contractors and consultant handling the project. This informed the invitation to the consultants and Ministry of Water Resources to appear before the House next week. Parliamentary reporter Oluwatosin Oladokun has the details.
Speaking on the water project, Speaker of the House, Honorable Timothy Oye, said the summon became imperative for the interest of maintaining monumental progress and development currently enjoying in the state. This, he noted, called for engineer Mr. Kalitu and contractors handling transmission, environmental and plant of the Hongun-led Ilesha water project. He further expressed his dissatisfaction over the unwarranted slow pace of the Hongun project. Honorable West said the House will no longer condone any form of contract executed haphazardly, saying it is the duty of the second arms of government to build satellite and projects that public funds were committed. He then warned that if the affected parties fail to appear before the House, the law will take its course. In the meantime, the lawmaker passed into law Osun New Town and Growth Development Authority B 2022, while Osun State Standardization for Car Wash Services B 2022 equally set through the first readings. In another development, members of the legislative arm of government also confirmed the nominees of Governor Adeboye Oyetola as members of Osun State Judiciary Service Commission. The confirmation came after the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Olufemi Popola, submitted the committee's report of the nominees. Osun State House Assembly also confirmed Alhaji Kolapo Maruf as the Auditor General of the state, just as the House of Assembly, however, summoned the Accountant General of the state and the directors in charge of finances. Oluwatosin Oladokun, OSBC News.
In the meantime, the National Assembly has begun the process for the amendment of the Extradition Act 2004 with a view to expanding its enforcement scope beyond Commonwealth countries and related matters. President Muhammadu Buhari sent the amendments to the Joint National Assembly for approval to commence Section 2, 7, 15 and 20 of the Act. President Buhari also seeks amendment to Section 7 of the Principal Act by inserting a new subsection 4, which provides that the procedure for the issuance of a warrant of arrest shall be set out in the schedule to this Act. In the same vein, the Executive Bill seeks amendment of Section 20, subsection 2 of the Principal Act by substituting the existing subsection 2 with a new subsection 2, which provides that for the purposes of this Act, returnable offence means an offence however described, which is punishable by imprisonment for a term of 2 years or more in Nigeria and a Commonwealth country or country having an extradition treaty with Nigeria seeking the surrender of the fugitive. Director General Osun State Broadcasting Corporation OSBC conglomerates Mr. Rashid Folayemi says the station is not only concerned about broadcasts alone, but also with happenings in the society. Mr. Folayemi stated these are the 3-in-1 annual public lectures and pep talks held at Open Air Studio Ileawiye Okebale Osogbo. Olaide Adeberu covered the event. Her reports.
The Open Air Studio Ileawiye Okebale Osogbo played host to international consultants, stakeholders and royal father, who all converged for the 3-in-1 annual public lectures, pep talks and award presentation of the Administration and Supplies Department of Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. The program, ninth of its kind, was
a sincere apology for the break in that report. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now a mid-news message. Don't join the multitude to commit evil. The gains of crimes often fall short of atonement when the long arm of the law catches up with criminals. OSBC News Report of the Week today looks at the spiritual conjecture of the last 4 months of the year, tagged Ember Months. Are they really tender, dangerous, blood-sucking and dicey? Join Adeyemi Aboderi as he attempts to demystify dangers attached to Ember Months.
We are in the month of November, one of the last 4 months of the year, popularly referred to as Ember Months. It is that period of the year when Nigerians are spiritually sensitive, and it is the goal of many that they see the end of the year. This month could mean a lot to different people. Some have the perception that Ember Months are tender, risky and dicey. It is believed that it is a time when death toll increases. Many relate it to spiritual issues and others to the wickedness of men. This belief has become so entrenched in the consciousness of people that various religious groups and other institutions regularly organize special prayer sessions, usually to ward off evil or perceived dangers associated with the month. So it is not unusual to see faithful of various religions engaged in fervent spiritual warfare in a bid to dislodge the blood-sucking devils that are allegedly on the prowl during this month. However, to some people, Ember Months are when families and individuals are in so much hurry to make all the money they have not made since the beginning of the year, so they could meet up with expenses in the season. The simple thought of Ember Months can stir up feelings of excitement as well as anxiety from those who could not meet up with the challenges involved, considering all the tasks that need to be carried out for these major seasons. However, the State Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps Commander Paul Ope, said says there is no mystery attached to Ember months. Okwe said the reality of the so-called Ember months were not in any way different from the other 8 months of the year. According to him, tragedy occurred in the Ember months just as they happened in other months, saying ascribing what he called needless spiritual and mystical undertone to tragic happenings during the Ember months was wrong.
My advice to all road users is that they should be patient while on the road. Once you are patient and you know that the challenge in our country is that of attitude, once everyone is patient and engaged in the normal speed, either in built-up area or on the highway, you see that road traffic accidents will reduce. And also appeal that motorists or car riders don't engage in route violation, which will come one way, because it's causing a lot of infractions. So our appeal is that they continue to obey traffic rules. And also we advise that people don't travel at night, because you know there are so many challenges now. So we want our citizens to travel mainly in the daytime.
He declared such undertone as the usual way of trivializing serious issues instead of using methodical means to appraise matters of crucial public concerns. In the words of a public affairs commentator, Pastor Emmanuel Eze, road users should stop clothing the Ember month in a gap of mystery. Rather, should realize that the months were not different from other 8 months of the year. Eze advised motorists and motorcyclists to be conscious of the need to observe regulations guiding the use of roads.
When the Ember month is coming, people do think that there is a certain devil that causes accidents. But with my own finding, there is no Satan or devil that is causing accidents. It's carelessness. Many people want to, the journey of 1 hour, they want to just spend like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And apart from that, the way people ride motor or motorcycle, they do drive as if they are having any spare past life or extra life at home, and they don't know that they have only one life. So we want to advise people that they should know that they have only one life to spend. And Yoruba people say that ojo akpa ojo arama. When someone is involved in an accident, the body can never be the same again.
Ember month could be a very sensitive and delicate period of the end of the year. It is, however, high time people sensitize their mindset on Ember month. It is evident that road accidents are caused majorly by people's non-compliance with traffic rules, such as ensuring that their vehicles and motorcycles are in good condition, overspeeding, drunkenness, overloading, and the use of phones while driving. Therefore, road accidents during the Ember month may not be due to entirely spiritual causes. For Report of the Week, Adeyemi Aboderi reporting.
The federal government has formally announced the reintroduction of history as a stand-alone subject in the basic education curriculum in Nigeria, 13 years after its abolition. The inauguration ceremony of the reintroduction of teaching of history and training of history teachers at basic education level was performed by Education Minister Adamu today in Abuja. Mr. Adamu was represented by the Minister of State for Education, Goodluck Opia. He expressed worry with the way the national cohesion was being threatened, with the country retreating into primordial sentiments as a result of lack of knowledge of the evolution of Nigeria following the removal of history from the basic education curriculum. The minister said that a total of 3,700 history teachers had been shortlisted for the first round of training for enhanced teaching of the subject. History was removed from primary and secondary education curriculums from the 2009-2010 academic session. Members of the Alumni Association of Mass Communication of Osun State Polytechnic Ire, MAOS, has inaugurated an online radio and presented a 12 kVA generator to their department as a mark of appreciation for molding them to meet the need of the society. The president of the MAOS, Mr. Femi Salau, who led the association's delegation to inaugurate the project, was received by the management of the institution and the Mass Communication Department. The Dean, Faculty of Communication and Information Technology, Mr. Philip Ewola, who represented the rector, Dr. Detayo, acknowledged the good gesture and urged other alumni associations to emulate the MAOS saying OSPOLY is proud of the Alumni Association of Mass Communication Department. Also speaking, the head of the Department of Mass Communication, OSPOLY, Mr. Tope Abiola, appreciated the good gesture, saying the department would liaise with the management of the institution to set a day aside to celebrate the alumni and for the commissioning of the online radio to be tagged Mao's Day. He also assured the alumni of using the generator for the purpose it is meant. Messrs. Itowu Akinrosoye and Aderemi Adiagbo, among other members of staff of the Mass Communication Department of OSPOLY Ire, commended Maos for the laudable initiatives and prayed fervently for the executives and members of the Alumni Association for deeming it fit to give back to their alma mater. Osun State Governor Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola will tomorrow morning present the staff of office to the new Olukoyi of Ikoyi Osun, Oba Taofik Morenigbade Ijeola. Venue of the program is Community High School, Orita Ijebu, Ikoyi. A statement by President Ikoyi Development Union, Dr. Kola Rahim, explained that Oni of Ife, Obadeye Niton Ogunwusi Ojaja II, will lead other royal fathers to the event, while leading officials of the state government, political party members, and eminent personalities across the state. The chairman, Ishoka South Local Council Development Area, Prince Wasiu Ojelami, is the host. Manchester United is reportedly considering a big money transfer for Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen. Adeyemi Abodering has more on sports updates.
Nigeria's under-20 men's national team, the Flying Eagles, are expected to resume camping next week ahead of the African Cup of Nations under-20 championship. This will be the first time the team will regroup since winning the Wafu B Zone under-20 championship in Niger Republic, where coach Ladan Boso-led side defeated Benin Republic 3-1 in the final in May. Egypt will host the under-20 African Cup of Nations bid to kick off on February 18 through March 12. A semi-final spot in Egypt for the Flying Eagles will guarantee a place at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup next year. The Flying Eagles have won a record 7 African Under-20 Cup of Nations titles and are also 2-time runners-up of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. The 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup will take place in Indonesia. Meanwhile, ahead of the 2022-2023 Nigerian National League, the second-tier domestic league has mandated clubs wishing to participate in the new season to name their home grounds on or before Monday. This is with a view to enable its facility inspectors commence thorough inspection of such facilities. The Nigerian National League management, which listed standard playing pitches, perimeter fence, up-to-date dressing rooms, media-friendly and structural integrity and safety are some of the needed basic conditions, warns that any home ground of the 43 teams that fails to meet the basic stadium requirement will not be approved to host its matches, while such teams will need to play elsewhere as may be approved by the league body. In the meantime, age-grade football and grassroots development programs will be given priority by the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation. Director of Communication, Nigerian Football Federation, Ademola Olajire, who disclosed that core mandate of the newly elected management of the Football House was to prioritize age-grade football and grassroots development, said failure of the Super Eagles to qualify for the ongoing FIFA World Cup had left sour taste in the mouth of every football fan in the country, including the Nigerian Football Federation. According to Olajire, the NFF will ensure that the national teams are built around locally sourced players. Manchester United is reportedly considering making a big money transfer for Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen during the January transfer window following the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo from the club. Ronaldo's contract with the 20-time English Premier League champions has been officially terminated. Reports claim that senior figures at Old Trafford have met to discuss the possibility of bringing a forward on a short-term basis with Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, who is Italian Serie A top scorer with 9 goals, is believed to be high on the club's shortlist. Aston Villa have reportedly offered 40 million euros to Villarreal to acquire the services of Super Eagles winger Samuel Chukwueze. The Nigerian international has been with the club since moving to Europe following his brilliance at the 2015 FIBA Under-17 World Cup. Chukwueze has been a subject of interest from Aston Villa since the English side appointed former Arsenal boss Unai Emery as the manager. Unai Emery and Chukwueze worked together at Villarreal before the tactician returned to the English Premier League with Aston Villa a few weeks ago. Nigeria's under-18 and under-20 teams have continued their impressive performance in the ongoing International Handball Federation African Trophy in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. The under-18 boys defeated Liberia comprehensively by 79 to 15 points, while the under-20 narrowly defeated Niger Republic by 28 to 22 points. The Nigerian sides on day one of the competition had defeated Togo by a wide margin. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Abodere.
To end the news across the country, here again are the major points. In a bid to guarantee a sustainable development of the state and continue to ensure a better life for residents, Governor Adekunle Oyetola has launched the revised Osun State Development Plan 2023-2050. The National Assembly has begun the process for the amendment of the Extradition Act 2004 with a view to expanding its enforcement scope beyond Commonwealth countries and related matters. OSBC News report of the week today looked at the spiritual conjuncture of the last 4 months of the year, tagged Ember Month. The federal government has formally announced the reintroduction of history as a stand-alone subject in the basic education curriculum in Nigeria 13 years after its abolition. That was the news across the country, edited by Temitope Olayiwola. For more about us, visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.